welcome back to the Groomsman. I'll be your host, Jonathan. Today I'm using Lothur Grooming Kadota. I've had this one for a little while. It's a really nice green, fresh, kind of a spring scent. It's not quite spring here up in North Dakota. It's February, got a little colder. It snowed a little bit this week, or this last week. This is really nice. Big leaves, a little bit of a floral note in there for something. It's really, like, the fig leaf though is the primary note. I think it's fig leaf, I could be wrong. But it's a very leafy green scent. It's really nice. If you like green scents, this is, right up there. It's not like a grassy green, it's more of a leafy green. I like it, I dig it. Very nice springtime scent. I got it all lathered up here with my Chisel Hound brush. So doing a comparison shade today. One of our viewers reached out to me on Instagram and I got the message. Surprisingly, I don't go on Instagram a lot. I think I only made an Instagram account so I could follow other wet shavers and enter contests and stuff. I don't ever post on there or anything. But I got the message he sent me. We had a little back and forth where he's asking some questions about the Wolfman videos I did a while back. And we were having some conversations about which way I prefer the most and blade gaps and I kind of alluded to the fact that the Winning is probably my favorite razor. So easy to use, I don't have to think about it. I get the efficiency I want. And he said, like, more than the Wolfman, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't reach for the Wolfman very often. I wasn't even sure when the last time I used it was. But the Winning, I'm always reaching for that thing. Super comfortable, very easy to use. So we went back and forth on that conversation a little bit. And I told him I'd work on doing a comparison shave. Seemed like it'd be a fun comparison shave, so we're gonna do the Winning versus the Wolfman. Use a little bit of water in there. It's a little pasty looking. It was really nice and hydrated in the bowl. Might be I had some pre-shave lather or pre-shave oil on my face. Maybe that affected it a little bit. Some Badger pre-shave oil. It's looking a little better. All right. So I got the Wolfman and the Winning all readied up over here. I got a new Rapira super stainless. Some of these little 10 packs here. I got a new one of those in each razor, so they got the same blade. The Winning stainless steel, the Wolfman stainless steel. As you can tell, I'm not going to go into like the differences on cost. This is obviously significantly more expensive. The Wolfman is a quite an expensive razor. He spends a lot of time on finishing, on edges and beveling and all that stuff, and it shows. The handle feels very clean and polished. The knurling feels nice. It's grippy, but it's not like stabby into your finger. I think some of the knockoffs, they don't do as good of a job, like kind of polishing the knurling and stuff, and it feels weird. Also, you can tell there's no unfinished edges, unfinished burrs. You'll never find that kind of stuff on a Wolfman. Like, every bit of it is smooth and polished and exactly where it's supposed to be. The Winning is meant to be affordable, so there's not the kind of attention to detail on here. The machine work is meant to be, this is the 1.0 by the way. I do have the 2.0, but I prefer the 1.0. It's meant to use as few cuts as possible into the machining, into the CNC machine. It's meant to, it's not overly polished because that costs time and money. So it's meant to be affordable. Whereas this will spend a lot of time. This was the satin finish. Obviously they got the hand polish finish options over there that are much more expensive. I did buy this off the buy sell trade, so there's some cheapness there because I'm cheap. So we'll start with the Winning on the right side. We'll start with the Wolfman on the right side with that new. This is the 1.15. I do have a 1.25, but I don't normally use that one. It's got a little bit more blade feel than I like. And I tend to get a little razor burn with it. That was the first one I had gotten was that 1.25. I don't know if there's any difference in blade exposure with the different gapped Wolfmans. I don't know if like the 1.15 versus 1.25 is the only difference, the blade gap. It was like raising that bar up, which changes the blade geometry. He doesn't put a lot of information about blade geometry on his website, so I don't know. It feels less blade forward than the 1.25. It's much more user friendly. It does feel like it has a little bit of positive exposure, but not a lot. It's much more in my range of effective but comfortable. And this is, I mean, you saw the growth. I didn't really talk about it too much, but I haven't shaved in like 5 days or something. I was going to shave many times over the last few days, and I just hadn't gotten around to it. And I was going to do this video yesterday. I chose to sleep in instead. No regrets. But it's like, there's no tugging, even with this long hair I got going on right now. It's super smooth. Surprisingly, like I expected a little bit of tugging just because of how long it's been since I've shaved, but no. Taking care of it like a champ. Rinse is super easy. There's no clogging. It's got, you know, a nice enough of a blade gap there, and the blade channel, it rinses real smooth. Yeah, no tugging at all. That was actually really nice. A lot nicer than I remembered. Not that I remembered it being bad. I mean, that was great. That was a great pass. And I don't know why I don't reach for it more often. It just... I don't know the winning. Same blade, the Rapira Super Stainless. And like I said, this is the newer 2.0 handle because I like the knurling better. There's no knurling really on the original handle. But I like the smooth base plate. I have the new one, and some people found that they got like a suction feeling with the original, and so he made these like chamfered edges on the new one. You can see those to help with like break up like surface feel, so it didn't like stick to your face. And then he had like larger blade openings on the bottom and stuff. I have mix and matched the base plates and top caps together and everything, so I put the new base plate on with the old. But it's fine. I don't mind. I don't get a suction feeling, but I know what people are talking about. There's a lot of surface area for this kind of like fixed edge on the winning. That big face plate. But I think it does that kind of suction feeling that some people get. That rinsed out smooth. I don't have any issues. This is the old one too. It's got like these weird little lather ports. I think it does help. It's kind of like face pulling, like when you're holding your face up. That extra skin contact you get with this larger top cap and everything, and that smooth top cap. It's kind of like a pulling sensation. It doesn't bother me. It's not for me not draggy. I have noticed it can be like that if my lather is really dry. But I think part of what makes this razor so efficient is that feel. That extra metal kind of pulling your skin keeps it taut and helps the razor be more efficient than it would be otherwise. That's my working theory anyway, so I'm probably just completely full of it. But it sounds good on paper. So far, the Wolfman is a little bit smoother. I think with the extra blade exposure and the wider gap, it made going through this much growth a little easier. The winning is still comfortable, but admittedly it's not as comfortable as the Wolfman. And I do tend to get clogged up with hair and lather a little bit easier on the Winning. There's just no blade gap, and there's nowhere for that lather to go. When it gets trapped under that blade, it just kind of sits in there. You can't really get through those lather ports, they just clog up. And that is one of the deficiencies that was addressed with the Winning 2.0. So you made these nice large lather porting. It just requires a little extra rinsing is what I found, which doesn't bother me one way or the other. It was a little more efficient. No, they're about the same efficiency at this point. Yeah, they're about the same, I'd say. But the Wolfman was smoother. Now, will it stay that way? I have a feeling it's going to change. With managing long growth is not the Winning's forte. But it worked really well for the Wolfman. I'm enjoying this shave so far. I don't know why it took so long to shave. I was going to shave last week at the end of the week. I got busy. Stuff with the kids. And then I was going to shave this weekend, and I just kept putting it off. Now it's Monday, and I have to work super early. I've been on like middle or late shifts the last month, and then now I'm back onto the early shift for the next, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, something. Flexibility is the key around here. Dribbling off my chin hairs here. Very smooth though, still very smooth. Sometimes this like little pass right here is kind of a width or a cross of the grain slashed against the grain because of the growth patterns. That can be tuggy sometimes, but that was good just then. That was nice. That was really nice. I got nothing to complain about right now from that razor. Winning's a little louder. That makes a difference to you. It's like something noteworthy. Doesn't make any difference for the shave, I don't think, but it's interesting the acoustics. And you see, I was super comfortable in the Winning, as expected. That's why I usually choose the Winning so much, because it's so comfortable. The Winning might have been just a hair more comfortable on this kind of pass along my jawline that I was talking about can be uncomfortable. They were both really comfortable, but the Winning might have just edged out the Wolfman. Just by a hair. Dad jokes? Puns? Come on, it was funny. You can laugh. It's okay, I won't tell anybody. I do really like the Lothur soap. I think maybe I didn't use enough, so I'm like a little thin on these last pass, but It's super slick. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything because I don't have like, you know, this giant thick face full of lather on the last pass. Residual slickness on the soap's fantastic. I don't have any issues. Base feels good. Not getting any irritation yet. So far, this is a marvelous start to the week. Shout out to Luca for getting it rolling on this Wolfman challenge. Alright, so proof is in the pudding and all that. Last pass. Wolfman against the grain. I didn't say earlier, the Wolfman is made in Canada, if you did not know. Made by an artisan. For a long time it was just a single gentleman. And I think he took on an apprentice last I heard. I'm not sure how involved his apprentice gets, if he's supposed to finish anyway. I assume he's an apprentice, so we should be training him on everything, but I don't know. I know it helped him to increase his throughput so that they can manage their waiting list a little more effectively, because their waiting list was notoriously long. You get on that thing and you have to wait a year for some people, I heard. And then I heard it got down to like 6 months. And he was also kind of making stuff that you could buy right away, so you didn't have to wait. If you weren't wanting something custom, you know, he had like the Gorillas. I don't know if they're still available or not, but the Gorilla razors were available. It's just like an ongoing stock on his website. So you just go and buy one and get it shipped. I've not gone and looked at his website in a while. I had one of the old Gorillas I got off the White Soul trade. It was cool. It was a little mild for me, which is saying something. I knew the new Gorillas, he had different blade gaps, so there were some options there. That was good so far. That was a good pass. Yeah, I didn't have any issues with it. It was pretty smooth. Maybe a little touch up right here. A little spot right there. That was efficient though, and comfortable. The wing, to be clear, I'm enjoying the shape on both sides. But I think the Wolfman was a little bit smoother than the winning against the grain, which I did not expect. I'm not going to go crazy into the touch-ups, although I want to. All right, so that was last pass. No touch-ups yet. The winning was more efficient. The Wolfman was smooth, but there's like still, you know, there's a couple whiskers. You know, I can feel a little bit when I'm going against the grain, and there's nothing on the winning side. There's a little spot right here. I got to touch up right on the edge of the goatee, but on like the big part of the cheek, I get nothing on the winning side. I get some resistance with the Wolfman side. That's the overall. I'm gonna do little touch-ups, but the Wolfman was a little bit more comfortable in general on all three passes, but the winning was a little bit more efficient, especially against the grain. So, yeah, there's a little spot right there too. I'm gonna do touch-ups. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. The Wolfman versus the winning final results. I did like a little touch-up. I kept the touch-ups the same. Wolfman on this side, winning on this side. And then did a nice warm water rinse to get all the soap off my skin, and then a nice cold water rinse to kind of close up my pores. And end results are pretty much the same before touch-ups. The winning is just a little bit more efficient, but they're both very smooth. I mean, it's not like a lot. Like it's a very nice shave that I got from the Wolfman there, but it's just a little bit more efficient from the winning. That being said, the Wolfman was smoother throughout the shave. Dealt with having like a really heavy, like 5-day growth or whatever it was I had. I had a pretty heavy day, heavy beard starting out. So the Wolfman handled that like a champ. The winning got through, but there's a little bit more tugginess. It wasn't quite as smooth, and I had to rinse more often. So the Wolfman handled that better, and it was just overall smoother throughout the shave. But the winning was still very good, just wasn't quite as smooth, and the winning was more efficient. And I talked about during the shave, I think it has to do with the amount of metal on your face there. It's kind of, some people get like for the suction feeling or the draggy feeling, which I'm not saying you don't get. Like I said, I've gotten that if I've had a dry lather. But normally I don't feel that way, but I do think that kind of feeling I get, which is similar to that, and what I do think those people get when they get drag or a suction feeling, but it's the way the metal works and these holes that kind of like block the airflow from coming out once they get soaked up with lather. So it just kind of creates a little vacuum behind the blade. But I think that acts as like, kind of like you're pulling your skin to keep it taut. The razor does that for you because of that surface tension. And because of that, you're getting a little bit of a closer shave. It's like skin stretching. I guess if I skin stretch with the Wolfman, maybe I would get there the whole way. I don't normally do skin stretch when I do a DE or an SE. I don't feel it's necessary. But maybe it would get a little bit of a closer shave. But they're both like super close. Like it's very negligible. There's just a little bit, just a little. But I mean, great shave. No irritation, which is awesome. I do feel I'd probably be more prone to irritation on pickups with the Wolfman just because it's got a little more blade feel. When I did touch-ups, like you can barely feel the blade with the winning at that point when most of your hair is gone and it's just like residual thickness is just gliding over your skin. The Wolfman, you can still feel that blade, which is good in some ways, but I think I'd be a little bit more prone. I think in the past I have gotten a little bit of razor blade from that, just going a little overboard with the touch-ups. That was a good shave. I really enjoyed it. I can't tell you which one I like the best. I know Luca might be wanting that. They're both really good razors. I like the Wolfman 1.15. It's of the Wolfmans, it's the one that I like best. I mean, of the two that I tried. I haven't tried the Wolfman WR1. The matching splash. My experience with Kadota splashes, I'm gonna add a little bit more on there. Don't sniff it out of the bottle. And some of the aftershaves you can do that. Some companies, you smell it, you're like, oh, it smells good. This brand, Kadota and Elysian, they use, I think, the same denatured alcohol. So when you sniff it out of the bottle or you pour it in your hand, you first smell it, all you smell was like rubbing alcohol. When I first got it, it really threw me off. I'd never used an aftershave product that smelled like that. I was like, oh my God, like what the heck? Like there's no fragrance or nothing. Why does it smell like this? But that smell evaporates within seconds. I don't smell it at all anymore. So it's just like that first whiff. You can't smell it out of the bottle, and you can't smell it when you first put it on your hand. Or, you know, rub it, put it on. By the time you get done rubbing it on your face, that alcohol smell is evaporated, and now you just love it. It's a really nice scent. Got like fig leaves. It smells so nice. It's a very, very green springtime scent. I do really like it. It's a nice splash too. And I don't know if I can read this. This print is kind of small. We got alcohol to nature, propylene glycol, aqua, glycerin, some perfume, isopropyl laurylate, mysterate, cocoate, something else, citric acid, coumarin, some other stuff I can't quite make out, limonene, limonene. Yeah, I like it. Feels good. It's a little, I don't know, feels like a little, almost like a balm. Like, it feels like a splash going on, but like aftershave, like, or post, once it's all kind of soaked in, my skin feels really like hydrated, like a balm. I'm not sure which ingredient was it that gave that, but it feels great. Feels really nice. That was a great shave. I enjoy them both. A little bit more blade feel, a little less blade feel, a little more efficient, but a little more smooth. Every razor has, you know, its top points and its low points, and I think they're both great. If you're looking at a price point, I mean, the winning obviously takes it. I think the new ones are $90, $75. I can't quite 100% remember how much the cost of the new ones are off the top of my head. Less than 100. Not less than 100, depending on your. Even as a baseline, I think this is like 280 or something, or somewhere around there. They get pretty expensive, even on the baseline, like the satin finish like this. Keep an eye on the Bicycle Trade page. They show up pretty often on there, as people kind of go through, if they're new, like going through the blade gaps, and like, oh, I don't like this one, I want more blade or less blade or whatever. So that's what I did. I got 2 off the Bicycle Trade page. Yeah, that's a little bit more efficient, a little bit more smooth. I think they both have a place in the shave den. I can use them both. I'm not getting rid of either one of them. I'm not gonna pass this on. I enjoyed using it. It's a great shave. Thanks, Luca, for inspiring the shave today. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it and it was a little informative for you. Both fantastic razors, and there's a lot out there. So if you guys have anything else like that, someone else wants me to do a review on a razor, revisit something I've done in the past, but with a, you know, more modern lens, do a comparison, hit me up. Throw some comments down there and let me know, and I'll do my best.